they're stuck in the past, it makes it so much more difficult. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I get so many of my clients that'll say to me, I want to work on this. I'll be happy when this happens, when I weigh 20 pounds less, when I stop smoking, when whatever the when may be. And so I say to themselves, or I have them say to themselves, what's going to make me happy now? Because if you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy when arrives. So you have to work on being happy now and being happy with who you are now. If you're not happy with who you are now, you're going to carry that same self to the when, whatever that date may be, and you're going to be just as unhappy at that date.
Right. Yes. And so when people are starting to realize, okay, now it's now it's time for me, and I know that happens with a lot of empty nesters. All of a sudden they realize that they were putting that oxygen mask on everybody else first and not on them, and all of a sudden they see, well, now it's my time. So they step up, and they really, a lot of people have given and given and given and have not taken care of themselves. How would they start nurturing themselves besides the vision board? How would they start learning just to appreciate now and appreciate who they are now? How?
I wouldn't, to that I would probably say, to be able to appreciate now, really just first get up every morning and have that gratitude for attitude, or that attitude for gratitude, my apologies. Have that attitude for gratitude. You woke up this morning. How many people, I don't want to sound morbid, but how many people can't say that, or how many people have loved ones that can't say that? So have that attitude for gratitude the minute your feet hit the floor. That's how you start that positive self-care. As soon as you have that attitude for gratitude, then it's going to open up so many things for you for that day, for that moment. And you'll be able to start to see things and really appreciate things. Let's take it one step further. I did a little kind of sociology experiment a couple weeks ago. I do that same thing every morning. I get up and I have an attitude for gratitude. I thank God I woke up this morning. I thank God for my house, my family. I went to the grocery store, and every single person I passed, I did one simple thing. I smiled at them. And every single person smiled back. That's the one thing I would tell you. It's so easy. If you do that one thing, it's going to open up so much for you. And that one thing, you may think, oh, it's just a smile. But it's really can start this journey of self-healing, because you're smiling, you're making somebody else feel good because you acknowledge that they exist. And they smiled back, and they're acknowledging that you exist. How many times do we go through life, we have moments where we go, I just don't feel like I exist. I don't feel like I'm important. And that really is a detriment to our self-care. And if you do that one thing, imagine how powerful that tool can be to not just yourself, but to every human being you have.
Yeah, that's right. And I always say one of my mottos is a smile doesn't cost you anything. You have an unlimited supply, and it cheers you up and cheers the person up that you smile at. Why wouldn't you smile?
Right. Exactly. And I'll be the first to admit I don't have the best smile. I will be the first to admit that I have those negative words, that I don't like my smile. But the person on the other end of that receiving that doesn't care what I think about my smile. They just think about getting it and how it makes them feel.
Right. Every smile is beautiful, and every smile is a present, and that's so That's so cool. And it's like dancing. You can't be sad when you're dancing, and you can't be
That's
sad
right.
when you're smiling.
That's right.
It just lifts your spirit. So that's one thing when I'm having a bad day that I really focus on. I find something to laugh at, or I'll make sure that I go somewhere and smile and at people. You can smile to yourself too, but it's more advantageous to share it, to share that
Absolutely.
smile. So who is your favorite author?
Oh, it's author overall, because I really like some of the classics, so I would probably have to say William Faulkner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
but if we're getting into romance and gushy kind of girl stuff, I would say Nicholas Sparks.
Ah, yes.
Yes, if we're talking healing books, I would probably have to say Ayan Levant.
Right. She is, have you ever read her daily book that she has where she gives you something to read every single day?
No, but I really want to do that. But I do have an email subscription, I think, from her that I get little kind of quotes or inspirations every day.
It's so funny that you picked her out of everybody in the whole world. Because when in 2008 and 9 is when the real estate market fell apart. And I really went through some horrible, horrible things that maybe someday I'll tell you about, but maybe not. I may not ever talk about it. But I saw the dark side of people that I thought were my very, very good friends. And it took the wind out of me. It really just knocked me out. And I
zipped your self-confidence.
Yes, everything. My faith in humanity, everything. It just, it really, my faith, period. And I had to really rebuild and reestablish what I believed in, and really build up my core and find out who my true self was. And I like her better than I like that old one. But Iyanla Vanzant helped me with that. There was, I don't know if it's still on her website, but there was a quote and an exercise to do every single day. And she would tell you to write things 25 times. And I did it every day for 6 months. And
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you, at the end of that 6 months, I was fine. But without her, I would not be here right now doing what I'm doing.
Another one of my favorites is Louise Hay. I read from her Meditations to Heal Your Life every day.
Yes, very wonderful. And Deepak Chopra.
Yes.
Yes, really, really wonderful, wonderful people who are high-level beings, that all of them are very spiritual, and they've been around the block a few times.
Yes, very evolved.
Right. So that's good. So you have a bunch of different readings that you do, which I think is really cool. So what is your favorite activity?
My favorite activity, if I'm just doing something completely for myself, would probably be painting. I spend far too few hours in my personal art studio just painting for myself, because I need to take more time for that. As my uncle Clifford would say, I need to make time for that, because we all should say, I don't have time. Well, the truth is I don't make time. So I would say painting. Next to wine tasting.
I'm telling you, you're a diva. You fit right in. I'm telling you, it's pretty amazing. So if you were to pick one person to sit down and talk with, either past or present, who would that be and why?
Oh, boy. Past or present. I have a past and a present person. I don't know if I can pick one. If I had to pick a past person, I would probably pick Gandhi. I think it would be fascinating to sit down and to talk to Gandhi about the struggles and the sacrifice when I don't think in his mind he views it as struggle and sacrifice on the same level we do. So I think that would be fascinating. Present, I would probably say Oprah. And the reason, and I know that probably sounds kind of corny, but she's a self-made woman. And I'm really inspired by that.
I have to agree with you. She, Oprah, I would have to tend to agree with you there. She would be a fascinating sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And what is, when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Is it gratitude? Did we already cover that?
Yeah, we did, but that's okay. I do. I wake up, and before my feet even hit the floor, I say to myself and to the divine, thank you for letting me be awake today. And that means a whole lot of things. It means, thank you for allowing me to take this breath and share this day. And it also means I'm thanking the divine for allowing me to be awake and experience whatever today may hold. So I think that's really important.
It is. And what is the last thing you do at night?
I thank the divine for the day, and I thank them and ask them to put a cloud of protection over my family and myself.
Oh, a cloud of protection. I like that. So, is your day different every single day?
I would say for the most part. I mean, other than the routine things I do, I meditate. Actually, I meditate before I even get out of bed. I do a mindful meditation, just kind of go through and continue that attitude for gratitude. And then I get up and my day may consist of seeing clients or giving a talk or a workshop out somewhere. I'm actually going out to give a talk here in a little bit at one of our wellness centers in my community. So, it's exciting stuff. And I love it. I have my husband, Christopher, to thank for the love and support he's given me to be able to take this journey and live this life.
Very nice. Very nice. So do you tell us your core belief? What is at your very soul that you believe in more than anything else?
I would say that humanity as a whole is decent, and that within humanity, you're going to have good and bad people, and sometimes evil people. But I think even at the core of their humanity, even evil people have a gem of decency. And I think if we remember that and we allow that compassion to come through, even in the darkest, most negative places, a lot of things could change for this world.
Just that simple, just to choose to see the good in everybody. That's very good. So
yeah.
if you were sitting talking just with somebody and you really had a burning desire to tell them about something that was really important to you, that you valued so much, what would that be?
Something that was really important to me, probably the relationship that I have with the divine. And for me, the divine is God. Just that belief that there is something higher than myself that helps pull me out of the darkest situations. I myself have been in some dark situations, and I've to rely on that higher power to pull me through. And I would, really just kind of ask